Go ahead. I'm just making this short. Go ahead.
And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven.
Right.
And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Shaul, Shaul, why persecutest thou me?
Right.
And he said, Who art thou, ruler? And the ruler said, I am Yeshua, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
Right, go ahead.
And he, trembling and astonished,
Stop.
said,
This is another instance where a deity, well, this is Yeshua himself, and let's think about this. This is the only instance that Yeshua had came down from the right hand of the Father after he had ascended up into the heavens. The only time that he had came down after ascending up to speak to somebody, to speak to Shaul. Let me say that. He himself spoke to Shaul. Now he spoke to he spoke to Shimon Kepha. You know, I don't know, he just said a voice. But this is one instance. He came down and said, look, it's me. Why are you doing this? He got his attention. And this is the man who he persecuted. The followers of Yahushua are the people that he had killed, threw in jail for, beat. And he came to himself like, look, man, what you doing this for? Go ahead.
I'll read verse 5. And he said, Who art thou, ruler? And the ruler said, I am Yeshua, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Ruler, what wilt thou have me to do? And the ruler said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do.
Let's stop for a second. Now Shaul, he's an Israelite.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't even call him a believer, because how can you say that you are a keeper of the law and you don't even believe the Messiah's words?
Right.
See, because it works both ways. It works both ways. Now, after his eyes were open, we will see that he got his instruction directly, but he couldn't get it directly back in. Go ahead. So not just the Italian, it doesn't mean that, okay, it's not only that it's the Italian that couldn't get it because he wasn't an Israelite, but we see in this instance that Paul couldn't get the direction directly because he wasn't properly covered.
Exactly.
His heart wasn't uncircumcised,
right.
So he couldn't even be a part of this covenant. Well, he might have been circumcised in the flesh, but in the heart he wasn't circumcised. So he couldn't get this message yet.
Right.
Yeah.
He was an Israelite.
Yeah, he was an Israelite.
And a Pharisee, well learned in the law.
Yes. Knew thousands of languages. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And when Shaul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink.
Now, once again, a lot of people will try to religify this one, but quite frankly, if I have had a vision like that against something coming at me that I've been persecuting and it made me blind, and I'm gonna be tripping. I'm gonna be tripping. That's what happened to me when I'm upset. I can't eat or drink. Go ahead.
And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias. And to him saith the ruler in the vision.
Right.
And he said, Behold, no, let me read that again. And to him said the ruler in a vision, Ananias. And he said, Behold, I am here, ruler. And the ruler said unto him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Shaul of Tarsus. For behold, he prayed, and hath seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight.
Okay, he done heard this voice. Now look at his response.
Then Ananias answered, Ruler, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints at Jerusalem.
Right, man. You got him?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And here he had authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name.
And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on your name. You sure? I think I'd be like that too myself.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
But the ruler said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles, and kings.
What king of Israel did we have at that time?
Right. So the only king we had was an Edomite convert.
Absolutely.
Agrippa.
Go ahead. And who else?
I'm going to read it again. Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles, and kings, and the children of Israel.
The children of who?
Israel.
Who else?
I'm going to read it again. Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles, and kings, and the children of Israel.
The children of who?
Israel.
Oh, so he speaks to us too. Okay. And go to 16. Read that one.
For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake.
Guess what? Then he said, once you do this, I will show him. I will then show him. He couldn't show him right there. He said, for then I will show him. He made him blind. So, well, he said he's going to make him blind. And basically so he can receive his sight again.
Right.
And be filled with the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Now, let's go to...
and they don't know he was teaching them something on a spiritual level about making him blind and then giving him his sight back. He was learning a lesson there.
He seemed to have given a lot of people that seems to have been a common way to get people's attention, take away their speech.
Right.
You get your attention any way you get it. You can take away your legs.
Exactly.
Take away your sight. Take away your hearing. All right. Let's go to Acts chapter 26. We're almost done with this. Acts chapter 26. Start at verse 12.
Acts 26, verse 12. Whereupon, as I went to Damascus with authority and commission from the chief priest, at midday, O king...
And this is Paul talking. Go ahead.
At midday, O king, I saw in the way a light from heaven, above the brightness of the sun, shining round about me, and
go ahead and finish that.
Shining round about me, and them which journeyed with me.
Now he's getting ready to tell exactly in his own words what happened to him. Go ahead.
And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue.
In the Hebrew language, huh? Okay.
Shaul, Shaul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou, ruler? And he said, I am Yeshua.
Jesus.
And I said, who art thou, ruler? And he said, I am Yeshua.
Jesus.
I am Yeshua.
Jesus. I love doing that. I mean, I'm having fun with it, but this is serious now. I mean, he said the Hebrew tongue. He couldn't have possibly said Jesus. Even the transliteration of this word, the name Jesus. Well, we can get into that another time. But his name is Yeshua, Yahoshua. I'm sure he didn't say it's Jesus, but some people are adamant on that name, Jesus. Israelites and Christians. To me, Christians always have an excuse. But for Israelites, we have no excuse to get this wrong.
And I also wanted to add, I'm going to put that out there, that I understand those who might use the word Jesus when they're teaching a newcomer who might be alarmed or afraid when they hear the Hebrew name. But a person, once this new person comes in, he learns that his name was Yeshua, and the Hebrew tongue, that's the name that he used and everyone else used, then that's the name that we should call him. But I understand when people use the word Jesus for teaching purposes.
Okay. You know what? Let's go back to Acts chapter 10. I just wanted to put that in there, you know, to have an even more clear picture of what was going on there. To get rid of some of the foolishness that goes along with this.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Acts chapter 10.
Acts 10, verse 34. Then Kepha opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that Mighty One is no respecter of persons, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Wait a minute, in Israel, every
nation.
Oh, but are you sure that it said every nation? Not some nations.
Every nation.
Not a few nations.